All right, so to start this design, I'm gonna go on my Babyliss Snap Effects trimmers. I'm gonna start by just tapping at the line. Um, you want to just take your time with this, and also if you want to use spritz or something to hold the hair in place as you do this design, that wouldn't be a bad option. And just for the sake of the video, I'm actually gonna use some spritz or whatever, so you can see how the hair holds. Hey, YouTube followers, man, sorry about my son in the background. I was doing his voiceover, and I don't know if you can hear him now, but he went to the other room because, he was having too much fun on the Mario Kart game. And yeah, so back to this tutorial. All right, so I sprayed the spritz. I'm combing the hair down, and I'm gonna go back in with my trimmers. I'm gonna tap at the line, and as I get to the top of that line, I don't want to just use the corner of the trimmer because the corner is round, so that's going to give you a round edge. The same as if you were doing a lineup, you want to go a little bit past that corner into that first tooth that you see on the blade. That'll give you that sharp edge. And as for going vertical, which I know a lot of people have a hard time with going vertical, it's the same method, but you want to tap at it and you want to pull back. So when you go into the skin, you want to pull back a little bit, just a little bit, so you can see a line there. You got to repeat that at least, at least 4 or 5 times or more. So, you just want to work at that, flip the clippers around, and go at it the other way from a different angle just to create that space. Because going vertical is hard. I know some people use the corners and they just go straight up. That method might work for you. I just choose not to because I like my lines just really straight. But either way, you'll still be able to go in with the razor and just make everything as crispy as possible. And once you get the line in visible, you can move on, because after that, it's time for the razor. The razor will make it, it'll make it all pop. It'll make it all come together. So you just want to get that basic line in with the trimmer. So when I'm doing anything that's like a circular type motion, I do the same thing as if I'm lining up like the C cup or around the ear. I'm using just the corners of the blade, and I'm gonna just use it like a pencil. I'm gonna just drag it with that whole motion. You gotta just have confidence that it'll turn out the way you are imagining it or visioning it to turn out. But as you get like straighter down the side, you can use the whole blade. But as you can see, I'm working my way back up now, and I'm using just the corners just to really refine that line. You don't want to use the whole blade because you take more of a chance of not having it in a circular type shape, and it'll just not turn out right. It'll be choppy, and you have to keep thickening up your line. All right, so the line's in there. I'm gonna go ahead and sit that trimmer down. I'm gonna grab my bad. I'm gonna grab my razor, and I'm gonna start the razoring part of the design. I'm gonna start with the vertical part, that way I could just get this line more visible. And as you can see at the top, I'm using the bottom of the blade, and I'm just edging at it. Like I'm putting it in there, and I'm just working that space just to thicken up the line. And as you can see, my blade was not angled 45 like it is now. It was more like 80, because I'm really trying to create that space. So that's how I go in it. And I'm going real light with the blade. I'm not like scraping, because the hair will come off. If the razor is new, the hair will fall off. You don't need to apply that much pressure. And especially with the kid, like this was probably not the best canvas to use as far as like it being a kid and him wanting to like be more on the tablet and do his own thing. But either way, we're prepared for this, and you can always fix a design in my eyes. So as you can see, I'm focusing more on just the bottom line. So I'm scraping everything from the top to that bottom line. And I use the word scrape because that's just what comes to mind, even though it doesn't sound, it sounds painful. But I can assure you that he is perfectly fine. But yeah, so I go from the top and I just scrape to the bottom just to create some space for that design to pop. And again, with the vertical, with the lines going straight up and down, I wouldn't recommend going 45 with the razor. I kind of go like more 80. That way you can create some space. You know what I mean? Go from side to side, from where you started the design to the bottom of the design. From the top of the design to the bottom, in that space. You want to just wiggle it back and forth to just create more space. You know what I mean? Just take your time with that vertical section, because that's the part that is going to take the most time. Just getting that as clean as possible. But the thicker the line, the better. So if your line is thick vertically, then it's easier. But when you're making fine lines, then you want to really just take the steps that I'm telling you. All right, so as you can see, that bottom, I'm making this bottom line thicker because when I went down, the blade took off too much hair. It took off hair that I wasn't aiming for. But either way, we were going to make that vertical line thicker. So I'm going to grab my trimmers and I'm going to go ahead and just, since I have space now to see, I'm going to go ahead and just detail that more with the trimmer. And then I'll follow up with the razor just to make it more crispy. But again, you can also work both sides of the line. And when I say both sides, when you do a design, there's a top line and there's a bottom. And then the design is in the middle. So you want to work both lines. You want to flip the trimmer upside down and then work that bottom line and flip it back and work that top line. When I use the razor, I don't worry about the top lines. I only focus on the bottom line, scraping everything to the bottom. And I'll use my trimmer to clean up the top line if there is any, if it needs cleaned up anywhere. But I appreciate everybody that's asking for videos. And I got a video coming out where I show you how to get rid of the hair on the parietal ridge. Stay tuned for that, man. It's Tatted Blend. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for y'all. You know what I mean? Just stay tuned, bro, and keep inspiring me to drop more videos, man.